In this video, we'll be learning about a new IoT platform that has some amazing features as compared to Blynk and Arduino IoT Cloud, like self-adapting mobile applications, free integration of Alexa and Google Voice Assistants, member sharing option, and one of my favorite, Wi-Fi provisioning and app configuration by just scanning the QR code, and you'll be getting everything for absolutely free. Yes, that's ESP RainMaker for you. And this is the basic getting started video with ESP RainMaker using Arduino IDE, in which we'll be making a project of controlling bulb and monitoring sensors data on ESP RainMaker app in real time over internet. So before starting this video, if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing this channel as we come up with these amazing projects in the field of IoT, home automation and electronics every week. Well, that being said, let's start with this video. Do you know what most electronic companies have something in common? Well, it's the tool that they use for making their products, and the most commonly used tool that almost all the big electronic companies uses is the LTM PCB designer software. Using LTM, you can definitely level up your PCB designing skills and make something really professional out of it. And now, along with the integration of Octopart, searching for any electronic components globally becomes really very easy. Octopart is kind of Google for just electronic components, where you can search for any electronic parts and get that information all on one single web page. So do check out this amazing search engine made just for electronic components. I'll leave the link for this down in the description. Do check it out. Okay, so coming back to the video. So ESP RainMaker is developed by Espressif system, and it is only supported for Espressif chipsets only, just like ESP32 and ESP32 series. Okay, and now the good part of ESP RainMaker is we don't need to configure anything inside the application side. As I said before, it has a self-adapting mobile application. That means anything we write inside the code will be automatically adapted by the mobile application. So no more mobile app configuration. Everything need to be done inside the code parts. So now let's just jump on to Arduino IDE and let's see what kind of configurations we need to do to code for ESP RainMaker. So here's my Arduino IDE, and here you first need to install the ESP32 second version of board's packages, which you can do by going into the preferences and pasting out this link. Okay, so this is another link, or this is a separate link. So earlier we are using the ESP32 boards packages version 1, while this is the version 2, and in this version 2 you'll be getting the ESP RainMaker support. Okay, so just paste this link inside the this preferences. I'll leave the link down in the description of this video. After that, click on OK once again, go into the tools, into the boards, and then into the boards manager. Here just type out ESP32, and as you can see, the version 2.0.3 is already installed in my system. Okay, so it's the second version of ESP32 boards packages. After this, click on cross button, and after that, when you select the ESP32 board inside the board packages, okay, this dev mode I have selected right now, and after that, when you go to the file section, you'll be getting the example codes for ESP RainMaker. So as of now, we have 3 example codes. Well, this can be considered as a negative point of ESP RainMaker, which is we are not getting enough example codes as compared to what kind of features we are getting. Okay, so we are not getting example code for all the widgets to be added inside the RainMaker app. So Espressif team should work on this and provide the example codes for using at least every widget as a demo purpose. Okay, so we won't be using any of this example code for this video because coding for the ESP RainMaker is a little bit tricky. So what I did, I created my own example code, and I have commented it properly, and I'll be explaining you this example code, which is to control the relay and to monitor the temperature and humidity sensors data using DHT11 sensor. But again, before explaining the code, let me explain how the ESP RainMaker architecture is actually. Okay, so how the things are communicating, how the mobile phone is adapting all the widgets and everything. So let me explain you how ESP RainMaker actually works, and then I'll go through the code. It will be much more easier for you to understand. Okay, so now here I'll explain how the ESP RainMaker actually works, like how ESP32 is able to communicate with the cloud, how mobile application is self-configurable, everything I'll explain here. Okay, so if you understand this, writing the code and understanding the code will be a lot easier for you. Just stay attentive here. So here's the ESP32 board. Let us assume that we already programmed this board for the ESP RainMaker. So as soon as we program it, it will generate a QR code. Okay, and inside the mobile application, we need to open the ESP RainMaker app. Now this app is available for both Android and iOS. That's a plus point. So you just need to scan this QR code generated by ESP board using the ESP RainMaker application, and it will automatically start BLE communication or the Bluetooth communication with what we can say the ESP32 board. Okay, so it will be communicating with the help of Bluetooth, and after that we need to provide the Wi-Fi credentials from our mobile application to the ESP32 device. So we'll be providing the Wi-Fi credentials. Okay, so this is called as Wi-Fi provisioning as well. And as soon as this ESP32 gets the Wi-Fi credentials, it will communicate with the router, and ultimately it will be able to talk with the ESP RainMaker cloud. Okay, so this is how we are providing the Wi-Fi credentials and communicating with the cloud. In return, our app is already communicating with the cloud because it already have the internet connectivity. So what happens is whatever program we have done inside the ESP32 board, like how many relays we have added, how many sensors we have added, every data will be provided to the cloud, and ultimately it will be reflected back into the ESP RainMaker, and it will automatically adapt the mobile application. Like if we have one relay, it will be providing one switch. If we have two sensors, it will be providing two widgets that will be for temperature and one will be for humidity. So it will be automatically adapting according to the code we have written inside the ESP32 application. We don't need to configure anything inside the mobile application. So that's a very cool feature, and that's a unique feature as well, which is not at all available in like Blynk and Arduino. Okay, so that's an amazing feature. So now we can directly control the relays and monitor sensors data using the mobile application. This is how this communication is happening. Now one thing which I need to explain in this RainMaker is RainMaker has kind of some keywords that I need to explain, which will be helpful for the coding part. Okay, so in ESP RainMaker, the device is termed as a node. Okay, so node can be our what you can say home automation project, node can be a smart light bulb, anything. Okay, so you need to name the node. Here I have named the node as ESP32. Inside the node we have devices. Now devices can be a light. Okay, so we can attach a light to the ESP32 board, we can attach a sensor to the ESP32 board, we can attach a motor to the ESP32 board. So all these three devices are considered under the devices section. So for example, I have written as light. So I have a node ESP32 which is a device called as light. Inside the devices we have another thing which is called as parameter. Now parameter is kind of what you can say inputs that we give to the devices or outputs that we get from the devices. For example, in case of light, we can have the parameters like power, whether it is turned on or off, and we can also have the brightness in case the light is dimmable. So if it is 50% bright, if it is at 50% brightness or 30% brightness or 100% brightness. Okay, so this too can be termed as a parameter of the devices. So these three terms are very much used quite often inside the RainMaker app. So yeah, that's the thing which I need to discuss. So this is how the whole RainMaker IoT cloud platform and the mobile to device communication actually works. Now let me show you the actual code that you have to write to make this particular project. Okay, so now let's try to understand the code for controlling relay and monitoring temperature and humidity data using RainMaker. Okay, so first of all, the necessary library declaration, okay, pretty common. Here I have used the DST sensor, hence why dst.h, and a simple timer.h library because I will be sending the temperature humidity data after an interval, hence I have used this timer. After that, the default variable is set, pretty common, and here are the BLE credentials. Now as explained earlier, ESP32 at first will be communicating with a smartphone mobile application via BLE, and for that the credentials are this. You can change it according to your need, doesn't matter, but let's just keep it by default as of now. Then we have declared a couple of GPIO pins. One is for DST, another is for the what we can say relay. Okay, here is one GPIO reset button which is initialized at pin 0. Now I'll let you know the purpose of this pin. It has a super application, but I'll explain at the end of this code. Okay, straight after that, here we are just declaring the DST pin and DST type as DST11. Initializing simple timer, pretty common. Now here is declaring devices. As we have seen earlier, we have nodes, devices and parameters. Out of them we are declaring devices first of all here, and the devices are temperature sensor. There are two temperature sensor devices and one switch device. Now why two temperature sensor devices? Well, just above it, it says that the framework provides some standard devices types like switch, light bulb, fan, temperature sensor, etc. So these are the standard devices provided by the RainMaker library only. If you go to the official RainMaker website, here you can see that under device section we have these many kind of default devices like switch, light bulb, light, fan, etc. And with each device we get a dedicated icon, or we can say widget, which will be reflected into our RainMaker mobile application, so it becomes more user friendly. So if we declare switch type device, it will be showing this icon, and similarly if we declare temperature sensor as a device, it will be showing an icon like this. Okay, and in case the device type is not available here, well, you can create your own custom devices into the other section, you can say, and their icon will be something like this. Okay, so here I have used the switch device type for relay, which will be showing something like this, and after that I have used the temperature sensor device type, which will showing the icon like this for temperature sensor, and another for humidity. Now, as I was not having any particular humidity data type or device type, I used the same temperature sensor device type only, but I just renamed it as humidity. Now, what is this and this? So first of all, the temperature written here is the name of the device which will be using inside this code, and into the bracket this temperature reveals the name of the widget that will be shown inside the mobile application. These two are the different thing. Okay, similarly, humidity is a device type used in the code, and humidity is the name of the widget shown in the mobile application. Similarly, relay is my switch is the name of the device used in the code for relay, and this relay is the name which will be shown into the mobile application. Here we need to provide one more parameter, which is the pin of the relay, which is attached at GPIO 21. Great, pretty common. After that, we have a by default function called as system provisioning event. Now this will be responsible for getting the credentials and connecting it to the router. So we'll be leaving it as it is. We won't be changing anything here. There is one more function called as write callback. We will be covering this just after we cover the loop part of the code. Okay, let's jump on to setup first of all. So inside setup, beginning serial monitor, input output declaration, pretty common. Beginning the DST sensor, pretty common. And now it's the time to declare the node. As I said earlier, node, devices and parameters. So here we are declaring the node with the name as techiesms. So our ESP32 device will be reflected as techiesms inside the mobile application. So that name you have to define here. You can change it according to your purpose, your choice. Straight after that, we are adding the devices into node. As I said, devices will be under the node. So we are adding 3 devices to the node called as my node. So my node.add device temperature, my node.add device humidity, and similarly for my switch. So these 3 will be added inside the node. Straight after that, here we are declaring the callback function for switch only. Now the callback function is responsible for receiving the data from mobile application. So as soon as we send any data from mobile app, the write callback function will be called. And here, as we are using only one single relay, I have declared only one single function for callback. Okay, so what happens as soon as we press the button onto the mobile application side, the callback function will be called, which will be reflected here, and here it will check from which device we are getting the data, and to be precise, which parameter of the device we need to change. Okay, as I said, device has a couple of parameters in it. Okay, so it will check. So if the device name is relay, and if the parameter is power, then it will go inside it, and if it will check if the power is 1 or high, it will turn on the relay. If the power is low, it will turn off the relay. Okay? So that's the devices and their parameters. Okay, to check what parameters are available in different switch types or device types, you can check out here. So for switch device type, we have 2 parameters, name and power. Similarly, for temperature sensor device type, we have again 2 parameter, name and temperature. Okay, so things will get more comfortable, more easy to use while you code once and twice with the RainMaker. It will be super easy. At first, it may sound complicated because we are dealing with this kind of thing for the very first time. This kind of code we are not able to see in any like Blynk, Arduino, stuff like that. Okay, so this is kind of a new kind of programming, you can say, but you'll get comfortable with it after making 1 or 2 projects. Great. So relay part is done. Now remaining is the temperature sensor and the humidity sensor. Great. So after that, here I'm setting the timer for interval of 3 seconds. So after every 3 seconds, I want to send the census data. You can change it according to your choice. After that, here we are enabling a couple of features like OTA, schedule, everything. Yes, we can schedule our appliances in the RainMaker itself. Like we can turn on the relay at a particular time, turn off the relay at a particular time. We can definitely do that. Straight after that, we are just starting the RainMaker services, and we are jumping onto the loop part. And the loop has a 2 function. One is this if condition for sending the census data, and another is the logic to reset RainMaker. So this timer is pretty simple. After 3 seconds, this will be called, and if it is connected, it will be sending the census data, which is provided here. It will be gathering the data, printing onto serial monitor, and using the function called as temperature.update and report parameter, we are sending the data. Now again, the parameter word is used. It's just because we are sending the data in a particular parameter in a particular device. For example, this temperature, inside the temperature device, we are updating the temperature parameter with the value T, which is nothing but the temperature. Similarly, inside the humidity device, we are updating the parameter temperature. Don't get confused. You don't need to write humidity here. You need to write temperatures just because we are using this device and this device has temperature parameter in it. So don't get confused. Okay, so we are updating the temperature parameter inside the humidity device. It may sound confusing, but yeah, I hope you are understanding. Okay, we are updating the humidity in this widget. Okay, and this function will be called after every 3 seconds. Now we are left with this particular logic, and this is a superb logic. Now, as we are providing Wi-Fi credentials via Bluetooth to this ESP32 board, what if we need to change the Wi-Fi credentials after a long time? Do we need to reprogram it? No, you don't need to reprogram it. You can use the GPIO 0 or the boot button of the ESP32 board to reset your Wi-Fi credentials and enter them once again. I'll show you the practical working of this reset logic after showing the demo of the code. So that was all about the code part. I hope you got to know a little bit about it. Now what I'll do, I'll select the board as the ESP32 dev module, and here inside the partition section you need to select RainMaker. This is a very important step. Okay, and after doing that, just select the right COM port and hit the upload button. So after successfully uploading the code, just open up the serial monitor. As you can see, it says starting ESP RainMaker, and here it has printed a QR code which is not clearly visible, but we need to scan this QR code. So to make the QR code completely visible, there is one link provided in the serial monitor. You just need to copy this link. Okay, so I'll copy it and I'll open the web browser. Here I'll go to the new page and paste that link here. And as you can see, here is the QR code that we need to scan inside our ESP RainMaker mobile application. So I'll open up my smartphone and I'll open the application called as ESP RainMaker, which is available for both Android and iOS. So just download it, and after that you need to make an account in this particular application. I already made my account here by the ID techiesms@gmail.com. And here I'll click on add device, and it will ask to scan the QR code. So I'll take my smartphone and directly scan this QR code. After scanning the QR code, it will start making connection with ESP32 board via Bluetooth. So let's see. Okay, it's asking for the pairing. I'll click on the pair button, and in the serial monitor, okay, we are not getting anything. Okay, so it gave us the select Wi-Fi network page, and sometimes it scans the nearby Wi-Fi network, sometimes it don't. So we can definitely add it manually by clicking on this button. Write down your Wi-Fi credentials, like the credential of your Wi-Fi router, to make ESP32 talk to the internet. After that, just click on the provision button. Now it will send the credentials to the ESP32 board. As you can see on the serial monitor, we are getting to see the Wi-Fi credentials. It got connected to Wi-Fi, and now it is setting up the mobile application. It is adapting all the widgets from the code straight onto this mobile application. It will take a couple of seconds more. Okay, everything is set up. Now click on the done button, and as you can see, we got two widgets, one for temperature, one for humidity, and one is the relay widget, all onto this mobile application without configuring anything. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll connect this ESP32 board with the DHT11 sensor and the relay module according to this schematic diagram. So after connecting everything, let us test with the ESP RainMaker mobile application. As you can see, we are able to control that bulb using the ESP RainMaker app using that widget. And we are also able to see the temperature and humidity readings, which are updating after every 3 seconds. Let's try to increase the temperature a bit, and let's see if we are getting the updated values or not. Great, we are getting the updated results in real time onto our ESP RainMaker app. It's working perfectly fine. So after testing it out, let us test out its different features like the automation and voice integration. So for automation, we can go to the schedules option and click on add schedule. We can name this schedule, let's just name it as sample. Okay, now here we can notify the time on which we want to turn on or off the particular widget, in our case the relay. Okay, so let's just try to turn on the relay. So right now it is 5:16, so let's just try to turn it on at 5:17. Let's keep it at 5:18. Okay, and do we want to repeat it or not? We don't want to repeat it. An action will be, I want to turn on the relay. That will be the action. Okay, so at 5:18 p.m. the relay will get turned on. That's the automation we have programmed here. And then let's just click on the save button. Okay, so it's turned on right now. So it's 5:17. So after 1 minute the bulb should get turned on. Let's just wait and let's observe. Okay, so it's 5:18 in the clock and the bulb is turned on. So automation is also working perfectly fine and we don't need to do anything inside the code side. Everything is done from the mobile application or the RainMaker application. That's a great feature. Then in the settings, we have the voice services as well. That means we can integrate the Alexa and Google Voice Assistant for absolutely free. Well, none of that IoT platform provides this feature for free, right? So the integration is quite easy, quite simple, quite straightforward. You just need to click on that particular service, in my case Amazon Alexa, and link that Amazon Alexa with ESP RainMaker. So you need to link the Amazon Alexa account with the ESP RainMaker account, and yeah, everything will be detected automatically. Let me just log in into my Amazon account. So after logging into Amazon account, you need to log in with your ESP RainMaker account. So I'll enter the credentials as well. Perfect. We have linked Amazon Alexa successfully. Now we can turn on the bulb using Alexa. And let me show you. Alexa, turn on relay.
Okay.
As you can see, it got turned on. Alexa, turn off relay.
Okay.
Perfect, without any latency. And similarly, we can go with the Google Assistant voice services as well. So now to integrate RainMaker with Google Voice Assistant, we require the Google Home application. So I'll show you the demo on my iPhone. So I'll open up the Google Home application, click on this plus icon and click on set up a device. Click on works with Google and here just search for RainMaker. Here is ESP RainMaker, just click on it. And here you need to log into your ESP RainMaker account. So I'll quickly log into that account. So with this, you have successfully linked the ESP RainMaker with your Google Assistant as well. And if you scroll below, here as you can see, there is one device linked with the RainMaker. And when I click on this, it will turn on the relay. As you can see, the bulb got turned on. If I click it on again, it will turn off the relay. And I can do that with the help of Google Assistant as well. Let me show you. Turn on relay. It's got turned on, and I can turn it off using Alexa as well. Alexa, turn off relay.
Okay.
It got turned off and everything will be visible inside your ESP RainMaker application. That means everything is connected with each other and everything you are getting for absolutely free. That's ESP RainMaker for you. Okay, so now I'll show you a unique feature of ESP RainMaker, which is the sharing option. That means we can create any phone as a member so that they can control our home appliances and monitor sensors data on their smartphone. Okay, so for that, first of all, you need to have the ID of the person to whom you want to be, create the member. Okay, so here is the ID which says arunsuthar98@gmail.com. So I'll create this phone as a member. So as of now, as you can see, it has only one project, which is about the Sonoff Dual R3. And don't have any other RainMaker node, you can say. Okay, so now I add that phone as a member of this techiesms node. So I'll click on this I button and here I'll go to the add member option. Now here I just need to enter the user email ID. So I'll write as arunsuthar98@gmail.com. I'll click on the add button and yeah, that's it. Now it says it is pending for acceptance. Okay, so as you can see, a notification popped up on Arun's phone. Okay, if I scroll down a bit, as you can see, here is the notification from ESP RainMaker. I'll click on it and it will ask me to accept it. So I'll accept this particular request from techiesmstudios@gmail.com and yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see, the project, the node is successfully added into my ESP RainMaker. And as you can see, here is the techiesms node and here is the temperature and humidity widget along with the relay widget. So I can control the relay. I can also control the, I can also monitor the temperature and humidity data onto this phone. So that's a really amazing and unique feature that is not at all available in other IoT platforms as of now, and that too for free. Okay, so now I'll show you a feature of removing the Wi-Fi credentials in case we want to update those credentials or add the new one. Okay, so what you can do is in your ESP RainMaker project, like I updated the ESP RainMaker code into this ESP32 board. What I need to do is I just need to press and hold this boot button for at least 10 seconds. On the seal monitor, as you can see, it is reflected as a reset button pressed. I'll press and hold this button for at least 10 seconds and after that I will release it and let's see what happens. As you can see, it says reset to factory, so it is completely erased and it started the code all over again. And here we got that same QR code once again, so I can copy this QR code and if I paste this QR code inside this web browser, I'll get the same QR code again, which I can scan from the other smartphone, and I can configure, or I can add the new Wi-Fi credentials into it. Amazing, right? We don't need to change anything inside the code. We don't need to hard code it. Everything is provided, like everything is super convenient. You just need to press and hold one button and you are good to go to add the new credentials. Okay, so that was the getting started with ESP RainMaker video. I hope you got the idea about how to use RainMaker for doing your IoT projects with the help of the ESP32 board using Arduino IDE. Do click the like button if you really like this IoT cloud platform and really like this video as well. Now, if we compare it with the Blynk and Arduino, well, it do have some of the plus points and some of the negative points as well. Plus point are a lot more, like we are getting the scheduling, voice integration, and what you can say, unlimited device integration absolutely for free, along with the unique features like self-adapting mobile application. Like if I do some changes in the code and re-upload into ESP32 board, the app will automatically update those widgets. So it's totally self-adapting, and the QR code process is also superb. Like you can attach those QR code onto your project or behind your project, give it to your friend, and if your friend scans those QR code with the RainMaker app, it will work in his ESP RainMaker application flawlessly, and he can enter his or her Wi-Fi credentials, like the home Wi-Fi credentials. You don't need to hard code anything. So those are some unique and amazing features. The low point which I felt is there is a bit more latency, not huge latency, but a bit more latency as compared to Blynk, but it is faster than the Arduino IoT Cloud. So yeah, it's in between both of them. And coding is a little tricky, you can say, because there are some new parameters, new terms included, like the node, devices, and parameters. So this makes the coding a bit tricky, but once you get used to it, it's really very easy. And I'll definitely suggest you to go with the ESP RainMaker, as it has everything that you need to make your home or office a smart home or smart office. So that's my verdict on it, and I'll definitely looking forward to make more projects using ESP RainMaker. Hey, should I make that all-in-one home automation project that controls 4 appliances and speed of 1 AC fan with capacitive dimming method using RainMaker? Should I make it for you? Do let me know in the comments of the video. Also, do let me know what do you want to know more about RainMaker. If I missed something, do let me know in the comments. You can ask a question in the comment. I'll definitely reply to you. If you have any suggestion of making any particular project using RainMaker, that you can also drop the thoughts down in the comments of the video. Yeah. That being said, I am just ending this video here and now. Just wait for my next video to explore, learn, share with me. Techiesms.